Evolution of civil services, police, judiciary, education and labor laws in colonial. Evolution of civil services in colonial India. Cornwallis reforms. Civil servants were prohibited from private trade to curb corruption. Strict rules were enforced against accepting gifts and bribes. Promotions were based on seniority within the service. Wellesley's contribution. Established Fort William College, 1800, for administrative training. The Court of Directors disapproved of its broad curriculum. Training later shifted to East India College in the UK. Charter Act of 1853 ended the East India Company's nomination system, introduced open competition for civil service recruitment, enabled Indians to theoretically compete for top administrative roles. Indian Civil Services Act, 1861, reserved certain posts for covenanted civil service. UK recruits required classical education, Greek and Latin. Gradually reduced the upper age limit 23 years, 1859, 22 years, 1866, 21 years, 1876, 19 years, 1878. Statutory Civil Service, 1878-79, introduced under Lord Lytton, allowed nomination of Indians from elite backgrounds to 1/6 of the covenanted posts, required approval from local governments and the Viceroy. Congress demands an Eisen Committee, 1886, INC demanded higher age limits for exams. Conducting exams in India as well as in England. Eisen Committee recommended categorization into covenanted and uncovenanted services, division into imperial and subordinate civil services, suggested increasing the age limit to 23 years, not immediately implemented. Montfort reforms, 1919, emphasized increasing Indian representation in services. Call for simultaneous exams in India and England. Proposed that 1/3 RD of new recruits be Indian, increasing annually by 1.5%. Lee Commission, 1924, recommended continued recruitment by the Secretary of State for key services, Indian Civil Service, ICS, Irrigation Branch of the Engineers, Indian Forest Service, IFOS. Evolution of the police system. Government of India Act, 1935. Established Federal Public Service Commission, central level, Provincial Public Service Commissions. These bodies managed recruitment and administration of services, including the police. Evolution of the judiciary. Early structure: a dual system, traditional Mughal courts alongside East India Company courts. Warren Hastings reforms, 1770 to 1785, established Diwani Adalats, civil courts, at district level established Faujdari Adalats, criminal courts. Civil justice was overseen by the collector. Cornwallis reforms, 1786 to 1793. Separated revenue and judicial functions, abolished district Faujdari Adalats, created circuit courts for criminal cases. Established Sadar Diwani Adalat, civil apex, Sadar Nijamat Adalat, criminal apex, in Calcutta. Later developments. Codification of laws. Indian Penal Code, IPC, 1860, Criminal Procedure Code, CRPC, 1859, revised 1898, Civil Procedure Code, CPC, 1859, revised 1908. High courts established, starting with Calcutta, 1862. Evolution of local bodies. Mayo's resolution, 1870, promoted financial decentralization, allowed provinces to manage local services using local taxes, laid groundwork for local governance. Ripon's resolution, 1882, marked the beginning of local self-government in India, proposed local boards in rural and urban areas. Key features: majority of non-official, Indian, members, election-based selection process, assigned administrative and financial duties to local bodies. Limitations: bureaucratic control and inadequate finances hindered progress. Labor legislation in colonial India. Background: Initial pressure came from Lancashire textile manufacturers in England. First Indian Labour Commission set up in 1875. Indian Factory Act, 1881, applied to factories with 100 plus workers using steam power. Child labour restricted. Ages 7 to 12, max 9 hours day. No employment under 7. Mandated 1 rest day month. Meal breaks. Safety measures, machine guards, inspectors appointed for enforcement. Indian Factory Act, 1891, raised working age to 9, max 14. Weekly holiday mandated for all factory workers. Women, max 11 hours day. Mains hours remained unregulated. Plantation workers, British-owned tea coffee estates, were excluded. Violations were criminalized. Plantation owners could summon police. Economic impact of British policies, highlights. Decline of traditional industries and crafts. Indian economy became agrarian and impoverished. Zamindari reforms led to the ruin of many landlords. Agriculture stagnated. Emergence of Indian industrialists, but under constraints. Wealth drain to Britain triggered famines and poverty. First Indian industries, cotton mill Bombay, 1853, jute mill Calcutta, 1855, nationalists condemn. Exploitation. Imperial trade policy. Slow industrial growth. Economic self-reliance became a central nationalist demand. Evolution of education in colonial India. Early institutions. Calcutta Madrasa, 1781. Islamic Studies Sanskrit College, Benares, 1791. Hindu Law and Philosophy. Fort William College, 1800, trained civil servants in Indian languages, closed in 1805. Charter Act of 1813 allocated 1 lakh rupees per year for education. Calcutta College, 1817, Sanskrit colleges in Calcutta, Agra, and Delhi. Orientalist versus Anglicist debate. Orientalists supported traditional Indian education. Anglicists advocated Western education in English. Macaulay's Minute, 1835, endorsed English education, introduced downward filtration theory. James Thomason, 1843 to 53, supported vernacular village schools focused on practical subjects. Wood's Dispatch, 1854, defined government's responsibility in education. Proposed a tiered system, village schools, district high schools, universities. Promoted vernacular education, female education. Teacher training and vocational courses led to establishment of universities at Calcutta, Bombay, Madras, 1857. Hunter Commission, 1882. Evaluated elementary education. Recommended district and municipal control of primary schools, vocational training in secondary schools. Indian Universities Act, 1904, increased state control over universities, standardized education and exams, defined the affiliating and teaching roles of universities. Education Policy Resolution, 1913, emphasized free and compulsory primary education. Strengthened teacher training and curriculum, proposed new provincial universities. Sedla Commission, 1917-19, proposed 12 years of school plus 3-year university degree. Separation of secondary and higher education, introduction of intermediate colleges and vocational streams, creation of unitary teaching universities. Education under diarchy, post-Montfort reforms, education became a provincial subject, central government retained university control. Progress hindered due to funding shortages, colonial orientation, inequitable access, technical, female, and vocational education remained neglected. Universities had limited autonomy and mostly acted as affiliating bodies. Separate boards introduced for secondary education. New universities established in Patna, Benares, Aligarh, Dhaka, Lucknow, Hyderabad. Government-controlled grants and administration, limiting reform potential. Legislative measures by the British for social reforms in India. 1. Abolition of female infanticide. 1795 Bengal Regulation first addressed the inhuman practice of female infanticide. 1802 Lord Wellesley reinforced the ban with stricter measures against the crime. 1811 Bengal Regulation X further strengthened the abolition process under British administration. 2. Prohibition of sati. 1829 sati was officially outlawed through Regulation 17, passed under Lord William Bentinck. This was a landmark reform for women's rights in India. 3. Ban on Thugee cult. 1831 to 1837 A determined campaign against the Thugee criminal cult was led under Governor-General William Bentinck, with key operations headed by William Sleeman, resulting in the cult's eradication. 4. Abolition of slavery. 1832 Regulation 3 abolished slavery in many parts of British India. 1843 Slavery was officially banned throughout British territories under Lord Ellenborough. 5. Suppression of human sacrifice. 1844 to 1848 under Lord Hardinge, steps were taken to end the ritual practice of human sacrifice, especially in tribal regions. 6. Legalization of widow remarriage. 1856 The Hindu Widow Remarriage Act was passed due to the efforts of Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, granting legal sanction to remarriage of Hindu widows. 7. Prohibition of child marriage and polygamy. 1872 The Native Marriage Act introduced a ban on polygamy, legal sanction to intercaste and widow remarriage. 8. Minimum age of marriage for girls. 1891 Through the Age of Consent Act, the minimum legal age for marriage of girls was raised from 10 to 12 years. Behramji Malabari was a prominent reformer behind this effort.